Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating process of how tadpoles transform into frogs. It's a natural wonder that has been studied by scientists and nature enthusiasts for centuries. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the magical world of tadpole transformation. 1. Introduction. Understanding the life cycle of frogs. Frogs are fascinating creatures that have caught the attention of scientists, children, and nature enthusiasts for centuries. Their life cycle is unique, and it's a fascinating process to observe. Frogs are amphibians, which means they live both in water and on land. Their life cycle begins in water, where they lay their eggs. The eggs hatch into tadpoles, which are aquatic and breathe through gills. As they grow, they undergo a transformation that turns them into adult frogs. The transformation process is called metamorphosis, and it's a remarkable feat of nature. It's a process that involves the development of lungs, limbs, and a complete change in body structure. The transformation from tadpole to frog takes around 12 to 16 weeks, and it's a journey that's worth exploring. 2. Stage 1. Eggs and hatching. The transformation of tadpoles into frogs is a fascinating process that occurs in several stages. The first stage is the egg and hatching phase. Female frogs lay their eggs in water bodies, usually in clusters, and each cluster can contain anywhere from a few to several thousand eggs, depending on the frog species. The eggs are usually covered in a gel-like substance that protects them from predators and other external factors. After the eggs are laid, they undergo a process called fertilization, where the sperm from the male frog fertilizes the female's eggs. The fertilized eggs begin to develop, and within a few days, the embryos start to take shape. During this stage, the eggs hatch into tadpoles. The tadpoles emerge from the eggs with gills, which allow them to breathe underwater. At this stage, the tadpoles are small and have a long tail that they use to swim around in the water. Tadpoles are herbivores and mainly feed on algae and other aquatic plants. They grow quickly and can reach up to several inches in length within a few weeks. As they continue to feed and grow, they undergo more transformations until they eventually become frogs. 3. Stage 2. Tadpole development and growth. As a tadpole, the transformation from a single cell to a fully grown frog is nothing short of remarkable. This second stage in the transformation process is when the tadpole develops and grows, which is a critical phase in the life cycle of a frog. During this stage, the tadpole rapidly grows in size, developing a more elongated body with a tail that it uses to swim. Its gills also start to develop, and it becomes fully aquatic. As the tadpole grows, it feeds on algae, plants, and small aquatic animals. One of the most amazing aspects of this stage is the development of the tadpole's respiratory system. It starts off with gills, just like a fish, but as it grows, it also develops lungs. This allows the tadpole to breathe air, which is crucial for its eventual transformation into a frog. As the tadpole continues to grow, it also undergoes a number of physical changes. Its eyes move from the sides of its head to the front, which gives it binocular vision and depth perception. Its mouth also transforms from a small opening to a wide, flat mouth with rows of teeth, which it uses to grind up its food. 4. Stage 3. The transformation process. The transformation process is where things start to get really interesting for the tadpole. During this stage, the tadpole's body begins to undergo some major changes in preparation for its transition into a fully formed frog. One of the most notable changes that takes place during this stage is the development of the tadpole's back legs. These will grow rapidly, becoming longer and stronger with each passing day. The front legs will also start to take shape, although they will still be quite small at this point. As the back legs begin to grow, the tadpole's tail will start to shrink. This is because the tail is no longer needed for swimming, as the frog will soon be able to move around more freely on land. The shrinking tail is one of the most visible signs that the tadpole is well on its way to becoming a frog. Another important change that takes place during this stage is the development of the tadpole's lungs. As the frog prepares to move out of the water and onto land, it needs a way to breathe air. Its gills, which it has been using to extract oxygen from the water, will start to shrink and make way for the growth of lungs. 5. Changes during the transformation process. A frog's anatomy changes drastically during the transformation process from a tadpole to a fully grown frog. As a tadpole, the body is shaped like a fish with a long tail, gills for breathing underwater, and no limbs. However, as the tadpole grows, it starts to develop hind legs which it uses to swim and move around. Later on, it develops front legs which allow it to crawl on land and eventually hop and jump. At this point, the tail begins to shrink and is eventually absorbed into the body. The gills are also replaced by lungs, allowing the frog to breathe air instead of relying on oxygen in the water. The skin also undergoes significant changes, becoming thicker and more protective with the addition of new pigment cells that give the frog its unique coloration. Finally, the eyes move to the top of the head and the mouth widens, allowing it to catch insects for food. The transformation from tadpole to frog is truly remarkable and showcases the incredible adaptability of nature. 6. Hormones' role in the transformation process. The transformation of tadpoles into frogs is an incredible journey, and hormones play a crucial role in this process. At the onset of metamorphosis, the tadpole's body starts to produce hormones such as thyroxine and growth hormone. These hormones trigger significant physical changes, including the growth of legs, the development of lungs, and the reabsorption of the tadpole's tail. As these changes progress, the tadpole begins to resemble a frog more and more. The thyroxine hormone is particularly important in this process. It stimulates the growth of the legs and the reabsorption of the tail, allowing the tadpole to transition from swimming to hopping. The growth hormone, on the other hand, is responsible for the overall growth of the body and helps maintain the tadpole's essential organs during the transformation. In short, hormones are essential in the miraculous transformation of tadpoles into frogs. Without them, the process of metamorphosis would not be possible. 7. Environment importance in the transformation process. As they grow, tadpoles rely on their aquatic environment to provide them with the necessary nutrients and oxygen to support their developing bodies. In addition to this, the temperature of the water can also impact the rate at which they grow and develop. As tadpoles begin to transform into frogs, the environment becomes even more important. During this process, they undergo a metamorphosis that involves the development of legs, the absorption of their tail, and the restructuring of their internal organs to accommodate their new life on land. In order for this transformation to occur successfully, it's important that the environment is suitable for the developing frog. This means providing them with access to both land and water, as well as ensuring that the temperature, humidity, and other environmental factors are optimal for their growth and development. 8. Common predators and threats to tadpoles and frogs. Tadpoles and frogs face a variety of predators and threats throughout their lives, which can impact their survival rates. In the aquatic stage, tadpoles are often preyed upon by fish, birds, insects, and larger amphibians such as salamanders. Tadpoles can also be impacted by pollution and other environmental factors, which can lead to deformities, stunted growth, and even death. It's important to note that frogs and tadpoles also play a vital role in the ecosystem as both predator and prey. They help control insect populations and provide a food source for larger animals. Protecting their habitats and preventing pollution can go a long way in ensuring their survival. 9. The significance of the transformation process in natural ecosystems. Tadpoles developing into frogs is not only an amazing biological process, but it also has a big impact on natural ecosystems. Frogs have both a predatory and a prey role in many different habitats, especially freshwater ecosystems. They aid in regulating the growth of these species by feeding as tadpoles on algae and other aquatic plants. This also aids in reducing the numbers of these smaller animals. Frogs are also significant indicator species, which means that learning about an ecosystem's general health from their behavior and population size. 10. Ending. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we hope you've enjoyed learning about how tadpoles transform into frogs. Be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe.